We're all unique individuals who have our own beliefs, ideas, and pace in life. But how far are we willing to go in order to fit into society? We've all heard the "you wouldn't jump off a bridge with your friends, would you?" But the real question is, to what extent can conformity lead us to jumping off with a group of friends if we're all feeling safe and having fun? The social experiment I chose is Solomon Asch's conformity experiment. This experiment tests conformity and whether or not a person will say something incorrect simply because everyone else in the group is. As Vsauce from the YouTube series Minefield suggests, what matters more, being right or fitting in? Before delving into the experiment, let's take a look at the definition of conformity. Dr. Saul McLeod stated in 2016 that conformity is a type of social influence involving a change in belief or behavior in order to fit in with a group. This change is in response to real or imagined group pressure. What do I mean when I say real? When I say real, I mean involving the physical presence of others, and when I say imagined, I mean involving the pressure of social norms or expectations. Conformity can also be simply defined as yielding to group pressures. This definition is by Crutchfield, 1955. The term conformity is often used to indicate an agreement to the majority position, brought either by a desire to fit in or to be liked, or because of a desire to be correct, or simply to conform to a social role. The experiment consists in choosing which line in the left matches with the line in the right. For the experiment, they hired 5 professional actors to lie about the right answer, and they asked another person who had no idea what was going on to participate. What would you do if you were in a room where everyone was giving the wrong answer? Would you confirm and fit in with the group, or would you stick out and stay strong with your beliefs?
We have 5 professional actors that have been instructed to do as we say. Often they may be lying about what they think the answer is. But in position number 5, a real participant who has
During the video, you will observe how the actors first give the right answers to build trust with the subject, but after 2 rounds, they start giving out wrong answers. At first, the subject looks confused, and she actually sticks with her thoughts and says what she believes the right answer is. But after a while, she confirms with the rest of the group.
One.
Number one.
Now they're all going to start lying. The correct answer is 3. Let's see what our subject does.
One.
Pretty quickly, she appears to be confused.
One.
Okay, number one.
3.
1. You can see participant 5 closing one eye, then the other, trying to figure out why everyone's wrong, but she's not going along with it. Again, the correct answer is 3. Let's see what our subject does.
Number one.
3.
She's sticking to her guns, but she appears to be uncomfortable opposing the group. This time, the correct answer is 2.
3.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Wow.
One of the variants in this experiment was to ask another person to arrive late and to write all of their answers on a piece of paper. This led to the conformity to drop immensely because people were not pressured to share their answers with the group. They deviated because we usually think our decision twice when we are with people. But when we're tasked to write out our own things and our own thoughts, it's more personal and we don't feel the need to fit in. Kendra Cherry stated in 2020 factors discovered by Asch that influence conformity. One of the ones that she mentions is conformity tends to increase when more people are present. However, there's little change once the group size goes beyond 4 or 5 people. Another of the influences is conformity also increases when the task becomes more difficult. So in the face of uncertainty, people turn to others for information about how to respond. Another factor is conformity increases when other members of the group are of a higher social status. When people view the others in the group as a more powerful, influential, or knowledgeable than others, they're more likely to go along with the group. Finally, the last factor was conformity tends to decrease, however, when people are able to respond privately, as we just mentioned with writing their answers on a piece of paper. Research has also shown that conformity decreases if they have support from at least one other individual in a group. The conclusion to the experiment was that conformity is strong enough to make us change our beliefs in order to fit in society or with a social group. This social experiment demonstrates how people are always following social norms, one way or another. Even though we say we aren't going to conform and that we're non-conformist, we're going to stick firmly to our beliefs, this is not completely true. Conformity most of the time is blind to the eye, and it's something we already see and do in the present day. There are two types of conformity: compliance and internalization. So compliance means that it involves changing our behavior while we're still internally disagreeing with the group. And then internalization means it involves changing our behavior also internally as we believe in the viewpoint of the group. Let's discuss some examples we see in our everyday lives. Number 1, following rules. For instance, we have to pay taxes. We have to drive at the right side because the whole Costa Rican society is doing so. But if we ever move to the UK, cars drive on the left, so we have to confirm and drive on the left because all the cars in the UK are doing so. Number 2, greeting a person. So, greeting a person is a big social norm that we all have to follow in society because that's what society expects. It's a symbol of respect. And if we don't do it, we're considered rude. Finally, we have fashion trends, education, marriage are all examples of social conformity. But how can this social conformity affect us negatively too? Well, for example, with gender norms. Girls have to do this, boys have to do this. The experiments reveal the degree to which a person's own opinions are influenced by those of a group. Ash found that people were willing to willingly ignore reality and give incorrect answers in order to conform to the rest of the group.